Welcome, welcome back to the Realist Podcast. How you guys doing, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah, we are back, and we have my beautiful, lovely guest with me. Oh, the special guest, might I add you, the most special guest I've ever had. It's my wife. So yeah, man. You guys haven't met her yet. This is the beautiful Miss Willis, Alethea Willis. So here we go. We're gonna have a wonderful show. We're gonna call this Relationship Friday.
Relationship Friday.
Yeah, so here we go. We got to share a microphone because I have to find my wireless pieces. Quite a tissy, but anyway, we're gonna get through this show. It's gonna be great. We're gonna have a little fun. We're gonna have a good time. So yeah, okay, we're gonna start it off because relationships are indeed very endearing to people. So tonight's discussion is gonna be about the foundations of human relationships. Human relationships and why do people seek companionship? When they compete, they seek companionship, and you gotta ask, what creates healthy bonds versus unhealthy attachments? Why do people and couples thrive and why others separate? Is love enough? Or does successful relationships require something deeper? So, I would like my wife to give a really good synopsis of what she would like to say about this subject because we got more to travel into. So, my dear.
You recalled a lot. You said a lot there.
Okay, so we're gonna
So
we're gonna focus on. Okay, okay,
no. Go ahead.
okay.
So where do we want to start? Where we want to go with this?
We're gonna start with why do couples thrive like us, and why do some couples, as we have seen people, they dissipate, they fall apart in their relationship.
I think it's a choice. I think it's a choice. I think that relationships thrive when people work to make them thrive. And then I also think that people have to result to why they decided to get in a relationship in the first place. And was it going to be long term or short term, and be honest about it. So I think that's where thriving either goes or the dissipation comes into play. It's a choice, but people got to be real with themselves as well, why they got into the relationship in the first place. Because if you got into it for the wrong reasons, it's not going to thrive.
Agree.
Because you're going to, you know,
Clash.
you clash, or um, you'll clash, or you'll bail out every chance you get. Got the one foot in, one foot out,
Yeah,
and you know, both people got to be committed. So,
absolutely.
yeah.
All right, so that was a good that was an opener. That's our opener because we're gonna take some deep dives into this. So the opening questions: are relationships built on love, or are they built on understanding?
Hmm. What do you think?
I think relationships are built on interest. First of all, when you see a person, you're interested in them and you want to know more about that person, so that interest become a feeling. The more you spend time around that person, you get this feeling in yourself where you it's a magnitude there. It's some it's not always friction, but there's a relationship there, and that's
Mm-hmm.
what formulates relationship, because relationships has existed and has been around far longer than civilizations. But that's what I think. How about you, babe?
What's the question again? Would you say, how do
Are relationships built on love, or are they built on understanding?
I think I agree with what you said. It does start off with interest. Um, I think it's initially love, but again, it goes back to honesty, because if people can have, there are all different types of chemistry. So you can have interest in somebody and y'all could have chemistry, but that chemistry may not necessarily be for a relationship.
Right.
It may be just genuinely common interest, friendships, continued self development. And if you think that that's always supposed to be something intimate, that's the person you're supposed to marry or spend your life with, then that can be skewed. So it goes with really getting to know that person
Mm-hmm.
and defining what you're looking for. Like, So therefore, you can know if this is going to be love, because it can be love, but then, like we always talk about, is it conditional? Is it unconditional love? So the both people got to know, hey, am I unconditional? Am I conditional?
Ask yourself them questions, right?
Yeah, and
Right.
talk about it.
Yeah.
If you don't talk about it, then you won't know. So you can have a person that's loving somebody unconditionally, and then the other person is loving conditionally, and they don't even understand
The
what that
friction
friction
is.
is. So it can vary, but again, people got to be honest, and people got to have those real conversations, I think.
Agree. Agree. So we're about to get into the meat and potatoes, y'all. So we're gonna cover some things. Okay. First of all, I think we have to define what is a relationship. Relationships are older than civilizations, like I told you. Relationships itself is older than civilization. It has to be. One has to come before the other. So you also got human beings are social creatures. Relationships are built on connections, cooperation, and survival. I hope you really pay attention to that. It says connection, cooperation. We all have to cooperate, and it's built on survival because you can't survive without that unit cooperation. But we're going to keep going just a little bit. Every relationship is an agreement, whether spoken or unspoken. And also, friendships, marriages, business partners, and family ties are all operate in similar principles in order to formulate those hierarchies, those groups, those relationships, to even build things and to build something that's worth a damn. You have to understand a few things: cooperation, treating each other civilized, understanding what this. So there are boundaries. There are respect levels. There are it's so many different elements that go within this relationship, and I think people need to understand all of the different. Well, not all, but we're going to try to get to some
Mm-hmm.
of all what it takes for us to even operate. So, what do you think about that, my
I think again, you unpacked a lot there. So that's a lot.
dear?
So
Yeah.
I think the basis of that and what you went over was respect. Because without, like, people got to understand what they respect and what they don't respect. Like, it's, you can be with somebody and they they may be somebody that you dominate. You know what I'm saying? And you may not respect that, because you may find yourself saying things or doing things that does not build or edify that person. So, but it's because you don't respect that that person does not either, I don't want to say challenge, because you want a
Exchange.
exchanging type of relationship, but you don't want somebody to always let you, I gotta be careful with words here. I'm gonna say let you have your way, but I'll put it like this. There was a friend of ours that said that they didn't want a guy that let them do stuff they know they was wrong for doing. And I
Right.
had never heard of that, because I'm like, well, if you know it's wrong, then why are you doing it? You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
they wanted their counterpartner to literally, or their counterpart, to be able to call them out on their stuff,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And if they're with a person that's not as vocal or um, stand upish, then they can eventually start to disrespect their person, not intentionally, but just because
Oh,
they're a little bit more dominant than the other person.
right.
So you have to really understand the person that you with, and know within yourself what type of person is gonna help you stay within the bounds of being respectful,
Absolutely.
as well as being respected, because
Mm-hmm.
it has to be a two-way street.
Reciprocal.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So I think respect there is the foundation. Like I said, you unpacked a lot. So if we wanted to, go over the other points, but what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are more so. Is I agree with you specifically when it comes to uh, the synopsis of what segment two is. Why do people? No, that was segment one,
Mm-hmm.
which is what is a relationship. So a relationship is literally that. I mean, we have to. take all these points and give them to people very simply. So we
Mhm.
did the right thing when, as far as agreeing upon and really having nothing to add to about it being respect. And respect is paramount in relationships. So I guess, when you cooperate with a person, you got to respect that person. So all those things, it just goes together. It makes it palatable.
And when you say cooperate, what is that? What do you mean?
Cooperate means we both have to deal. If we both have to exchange and or deal on a continuum, that's what cooperation it is. It's not submission.
Okay.
Cooperation is co-oping like we do every day. What we doing? How you gonna shape your day? How I'm gonna shape my day, and how we gonna bounce off each other. That's just co-op.
Okay. Okay. Is that a crossover with sacrificing and
No.
considering the other person?
Yes. 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 Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It's
Then.
all a co-op. Like Nova, we're all a family is a co-op basically. A family
Okay.
unit is a co-op. So everybody cooperates with the system within the home.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's just a co-op. It's not deep. So I think that's what make businesses function. When you in a co-op, even corporations, you got a small business or a big business. Everybody's in a co-op.
No, I get that. Yeah,
Okay,
I get
okay.
that part. Yeah.
So we're gonna move along because I think we covered a lot about that segment. That's good. So the next whip segment is why do people fall in love? Physical attraction, everybody knows that, right? Everybody knows you gotta be physically attracted, fall in love with somebody for sure.
Mhm.
Then and some people they don't. Wait, we're gonna leave with the majority of people on the planet. They like physical attraction. Okay, so they share
Everybody's physical
values.
attraction is going to be different too.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gonna be
Yeah.
different. So they share values. They look for emotional safety, admiration and respect, and familiarity and comfort. Like those are the
Mhm.
bases of why people fall in love. Like sometimes, when I walk with you and I hug you because I'm like, it's a relief, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's
Yeah. Yeah.
it gives it's something that
Solace.
it gives me solace and it's something that I get. It's an endorphin that you can give me that I'm like, oh, I feel relaxed. You know what I'm saying? So, what about you? How you feel about that? This. Why do people fall in love with segment? How you feel about that? What do you have to add?
How do I feel about? I mean,
Just add. I mean, just
yeah. I think people fall in love again for different reasons, and it goes back again to self.
yeah, I
Everything
agree.
starts with self. So, like you said, it could be for emotional reasons. It can be temporarily.
Yeah.
It may not even be meant to be long term. So
Mm-hmm.
they luckily we found, long term connection
Yeah.
to where our love does cross in all of those areas as far as
Mm-hmm.
comfort, as far as familiarity. I mean, when we first met, we felt that it was familiar
Yeah.
energy.
Real. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Definitely.
and
Most definitely.
it was comfortable. So, I mean, that people can start with that, but then again, you figure out where that goes.
Mm-hmm.
And um, I just feel like it just depends on where people are in their life, right?
Agreed.
Like, yeah, where they are in their life. So, yeah,
Agreed.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
All
yeah.
right. So we're gonna move to the next whip segment. Trauma bonds versus healthy bonds. So we're gonna talk about a few things. A healthy bond grows through trust, honesty, and consistency. Trauma bonds often grows through cycles of pain and relief. Pain and relief. Okay. Some people mistake emotional chaos for passion. No, they're just crazy. Childhood experiences can influence adult relationship choices, depending on how you're developing and growing within yourself and for yourself, specifically for yourself. So we also add one more thing. Healing yourself changes who you are attracted to and who's attracted to you. See, I am going to go ahead and step up on this one, baby.
Go
I'm
ahead.
going
Yeah.
to say, uh, when you're thinking about when you're in a healthy place in your life, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, you tend to attract. Like when we met, we was free as a bird, happy. You know what I'm saying? We kind of met happy. You know what I mean? Cool. So
Still some transformative
yeah,
type
of
of things.
course, that's life. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Man,
You weren't
everybody
by
know
yourself.
that. Yeah,
Some
I ain't about
transform-
transformations. You know what I'm
right,
saying? But
right,
healthy
right.
shit going on in life. It's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
yeah.
So you think about that, and you think about think about how you do have relationships. I've been in relationships before. Being single. There's a lot of trauma bonding, but there's a lot of trauma shit we cause on ourselves and for ourselves, and that's the reason why somebody can show you that they can cause more trauma than you. So I think that's why with trauma bonds always pain and relief, because the pain comes from the participatory aspects of your relationships, and then the relief comes from sexual matters and favors and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? So it's all kind of things. Or maybe somebody got a little paper, he got a little small little thing, and he take on a shopping spree. Pain, relief. You know what I'm saying? Just because a little thing don't mean he ain't gonna cheat. Just for you women for being with a little things. Anyway, uh we don't have missions over here. So oh right. Anything you gotta add to that, my dear?
Mm-mm.
We
Only,
got
only, only thing I'll add there is just in all seriousness.
all serious, okay.
Um, trauma. If people can have their trauma bonds,
Yeah.
but you know, if it's abusive, if it's
It's not fun.
emotional or well, I would say emotional, but if it's verbal, definitely physical, rather that's from female or male, all the dynamics of different types of relationships that are out there.
Sure, sure,
Women can
sure.
be physically
Abusive.
abusive as well. So you definitely want to seek counseling um, if you are in those types of situations, because that's
It's not fun.
definitely not healthy for yourself, for the other person, and then especially if there are kids involved. So just keeping that in mind, that you may feel like it's love, you may think it's love, but if it's going there, then you definitely want to seek help, because it's not helping you or the other person. So that's all I want to add
We
there.
appreciate. I appreciate that. I'm sure. I wasn't making fun or joke out of trauma. I just try to keep it a little lighthearted. But no, trauma's no joke. Trauma bonds, like alluding to what my wife was saying. Please get some professional help. It can save a life. Okay, next segment. Next whip segment is okay. Why do people stay together? Is it because of love, family, friendships, shared goals, financial stability, loyalty, commitment? Could it be all things at once? Could it be, I mean, I think as long as this is gonna sound simple, but I think as long as a person doesn't have Stockholm syndrome, and I think if a person is allowed to grow and just basically become a new being, the person that they want to become. Like when you're with a person, sometimes you a person needs to give you relief. She gives me relief. I'm pretty sure I provide the same. There's an exchange when it comes to participating in cooperating within a union. You know what I'm saying? See, people have a problem with anything that's authoritative in a relationship, because it doesn't have to be authoritative. It has to be a partnership, and people have to learn to take the roles and do the things that's best applicable to them. That's how it works. And then I think that also exchanging and learning new things about how to add to your characteristics, or your skill sets within relationships, that also gives a person a sense of value, a sense of appreciation, a sense of um, you're sharing with them, so you're giving them a piece of yourself. You know what I'm saying? So when you exchange in relationships, it's also very important to understand how to do so. What you think?
As far as why people stay together?
Yeah, why they stay together? They have to learn how to. I think they have to learn how to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think people, of course, yeah, they have to learn how to stay together. And I think that um, they also have to accept that people change. And when people change, it, it could be for the worse sometimes, it could be for the, better. But through those changes, are y'all able to still grow together through those changes?
Yeah.
Did that stay on topic as far as what
Yeah.
we're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so I think yeah, that people have to be able to accept the changes, but also acknowledge if those changes are for the worse,
Or
that you can respect the other person and knowing that this changed for the worse and have that conversation and not look at it like, well, you supposed to accept this because you love me. Like, no, I don't always have to accept bad changes
right.
because of love, because that's not where we started. That's not what
It wasn't in the
attracted us
cards.
to each other.
Yeah.
So keeping that in mind, that yeah, changes do take place, but can you grow through those changes? Because a person can change back. You know what I'm saying? Like, people go through phases of life and they are human too. So
Sometimes.
it's sticking in it and going back to why are you in it in the first place. So yeah, that's
And in some situations, to be honest with you, people get worse. Some people get worse if you're not. Some people get worse if they're not aware of the principles of development, the principles of evolving. Wanting to just basically evolve, basically develop yourself, make yourself something better. And and all the times you may not get to every single level of development, but at least you're trying. At least you're aware and you're in the pursuit. So those things are very important. And when your mate or the person that you with can see you doing that, they're gonna champion you if they really ride with you, if they ride for you for real.
I was gonna say, and it's also being happy for the other person, because y'all may have phases of life where you're growing and changing and the other person may not be at that phase in their life, but it is championing your partner,
Mhm.
being happy for them and not in competition or
Great
envious that they are growing and developing. So it's knowing how to be in it with them, even if it's not happening for you at
point.
that time, and it's okay. And vice versa, it should go the other way. You know,
Yeah, and it does.
motivating, keeping your
Yeah.
partner motivated even when you're growing. Like, and that's if the two people are ambitious. That's typically when that happens. So.
It's pretty. I like that. I like that. So this is something I hope we never experience, but we got to cover it. Why do people divorce? Communication breakdowns, loss of trust, different life goals, financial stress,
That's
emotional neglect, unresolved resentment. Well, I tell you, there's a lot there because shit that covers the gamut of why people be like, I'm done with this shit.
it's real.
It's real. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
Shit.
it's real.
It's real shit. So and I think it's more so. It really goes back into what did you get into it in the first place for? Because I don't think me and my wife and I, we've had our fair share of challenges, but we don't have every list, everything to check off on this list. We ain't got really nothing. We don't have community, we don't have lack of trust. We don't have, you know, it's
I mean, everybody go through
everybody
financial
go through the
situations.
financial
That I
situation.
think that
But
could be on anybody's list.
I will say this: There's nothing you can't make it out of as long as you don't get yourself into some shit that's too deep. Because you can't put strain and pressure on your mate as if they're gonna put up with any goddamn thing from you. Everybody got a threshold, but also you don't have to waver on those points. Everybody has their gifts and the things that you really do love and like about that person. You know, that person is your, you know, that's your thing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's your person. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, everything is a balance. Um, I think a lot of things have to do with the first one, and that's the communication breakdown. That communication breakdown is a motherfucker. That's a pivotal killer. That's the one that breaks the backs of relationships. I promise you that communication breakdown. That's the one that hurts
That
you.
is.
So what you got to add, my dear?
Oh no,
That one made
that's
that one tickled you.
that it did because boy, our mouth. Everybody's mouth. I'm not
Everybody's
just
mouth.
talking about women.
Right.
I'm talking about male, female, and whatever type of relationship you find yourself in. The mouthpiece is one of the most volatile and dangerous weapons that we
We
can
host her.
use, and we choose to use it when we feel like using it. And that's what starts it. It's what comes
Yeah.
out. It's what comes out. It's what and it tends to come out when you are angry, when you are upset, when you are misunderstood. Like I said, it happens to everybody at any moment. It's just you have to find yourself in those moments to catch yourself,
Mm-hmm.
to stop saying something that you can't take back, because once it's out there, once it's said, the I'm sorries can be said, but the memory just don't forget. And that's where the resentment, that's where, holding on to the past and all of that comes into place because of what was said. And we find ourselves um, saying, I apologize, or you find I didn't mean it. I was just upset, and that's the truth.
Yeah.
It's the very
It's like
truth,
that.
but it doesn't take back what was said. And we can say some ugly stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, whatever anger feeds us, whatever anger drives us to say,
Mm-hmm.
like
It can be pretty fucking nasty.
it can be, and depending on what topic is at hand, it can go bad. So it's really one of the things early on in our union, um, and our marriage, we really had to have that conversation to say we're not going to say things that we can't take back. Like we really have to watch our mouths because I'm not the type to hear anything. I'm not the type to be said anything to be said to, because I am gonna remember it, and I am, yeah. It's like that. So, and he's the same way. so, so we really had
Oh
to,
man.
if we really wanted to stay in this and you know really be in a healthy relationship as well as a family for our daughter, like that really had to be done, because if I'm not checking out, he gonna be checking out. Like it's gonna be a checkout. It's gonna be a checkout if some stuff is said, because
Oh
neither one
shit.
of us are like that.
For real.
So that's how I. That's that communication piece is
It's
extremely, extremely. That's where it all starts. I think if you can control that and not say nothing,
right.
just say, hey, I need to take a step back. Hey, we need to stop, because a
For
lot of the
real.
times, look, you on something right now, or I'm on something right now. We both on something, and we don't need to talk right now because one, the conversation ain't going nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Two, um, we need to stop before we say something that neither one of us will forget. Like we really had to make it a practice early on to not go there,
Right.
because it ain't gonna be right. It ain't.
We couldn't get here.
No,
That's for damn sure.
it ain't going.
We
It ain't
couldn't get
going
here.
nowhere. Nowhere
It
at
went
all.
nowhere.
So yeah.
So, but
Also,
oh, go
just to
ahead, my
just
dear.
to say, hey, just what do the people think? put in the comments,
Yeah,
why do people
please.
stay in love? Why do people stay together?
Mhm.
And what was some of the other?
I mean, I just wanted to hear. We definitely want to hear people feedback. We're not
Yeah,
going to cover all these bases because we're due for time. We're a little
yeah,
overtime, but
overtime.
this has been good.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
has
it's
been a.
really good.
I
It's
think
really good.
I like.
I
This is
just
a
wanted
great
to put
show.
that in there to see what the people think as well.
But if you want to hear more, we want to hear about in your comments. We want to help you with a few things if you want to. Why do some people never marry? You know, the frustration or the future of relationships. Period. But I want to leave with some closing points. You got any closing points first, before we drop off?
I think that was the strongest one, communication,
Okay.
because that's where relationships break. That's where
Make or
they
break.
start to, like we said, have a dissension.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you start to build your resentment. And then just, hey, early on when you're dating, getting to know your partner, just if you're looking for something serious, some people really are still out there and they're playing, but play with the people that's playing. Like don't play with the people that's not playing and looking for something real. Like, and know you can be honest. Like,
Yeah.
tell the truth. You don't have to lie about anything. We all
That's
grown.
true.
You
Straight up.
grown. You
You
grown. You
grown.
grown. You grown. And you ain't gotta lie about nothing. You just be honest and tell your truth and what you're looking for, what you want. That may be temporarily. You can put in there, this what I'm looking for right now.
Yeah.
You don't have to lead anybody on. You don't have to um, misrepresent yourself wherever you are in life with whatever you got going on. Just be transparent. Just
Right.
tell the truth. And you never know on the other end, like you said, where you are in your life is who you're gonna attract. So
Mm-hmm.
you should just be able to be transparent. So that's people ain't gotta lie.
I
Just
agree.
be honest, play with who want to play, and you can be serious with who want to be serious, and just make sure y'all talk well to each other.
Fair, solid, respectable points. That's from Mrs. Willis. So yeah, yeah. Anyway, that's the show. But I just want to close out with a couple of things. Transparency is extremely important. Communication, and the way you communicate, like she said. But from the Willis podcast, when you're a man, the most masculine you can be, and when you can communicate with your lady effectively. That's extremely masculine. But anyway, that's the show tonight. That's all I had to add. And we're gonna take you away with this because you already know how I like to do it. It's my favorite part of the show. You say it with me.
Okay.
You know what it is.
Of
You gotta hold the
course.
mic. You gotta hold the mic.
Okay.
Because y'all know what it is. The wheel is
Yours.
yours. Oh yeah. Y'all be cool, be easy, be peaceful. Me and Miss Willis gonna chill out. I'll holler at y'all.